Alright, come find a nice, comfortable seated position on your surface of choice, whether that's a mat, the grass, cement, dirt, sand, anything really. And if you need to find something to sit upon, like a folded cushion, get your hips a little higher than your knees, you can do the thing of take a buttocks in each hand, spread your cheeks so you can get the sits bones a little more connected, a little more access to the ground, the foundation that you're upon. And as you find yourself in this seated position, let your arms rest at your side, on your knees, hands up or face down, palms. Just find a nice, comfortable position to land while we begin the process of movement, practice of this flow we're going to enter into. It's a beautiful thing, and landing first really helps us find the energy we want to move with, helps us feel the space we are in, all the acknowledgement of such. The land holds us, Mama Earth holds us, and there's so much energy that has gone into protecting this land. Wherever you may be, there's a spot you find yourself in, and this is we call it many things, but a blessing to be able to witness and to perceive and to process, navigate, unfold, and evolve even further. So if we have some time in our day to do so, taking a few deep breaths in recognition for the space that we occupy. Allow the breath to enter in through the nose, the nares, the nostrils, down the pharynx, to expand into the belly, the diaphragm. And as you exhale, allow your navel to draw into your spine, empty all the air, release. As we prepare to land for our practice, we can take a little bit of time to pour our energy into the gratitude cup of appreciation for what we are doing. We only have so many movements we can take in day-to-day operations, and asana movements really allow us to expand and contract so we can radiate more and more love and really come from a place of center. So if we find that awareness within ourselves, that this practice has traveled so far, so wide, and from so long ago by so many bodies and voices, that we may discover for ourselves what this idea of medicine is, movement medicine, guided by breath and maybe another practitioner or a friend beside you, seeing how they do it and hearing their words and groans and moans and figuring out how to come into what is alignment. Find balanced action, find ourselves in new places, and maybe within that we are distributing our weight a little more evenly. Maybe there's more balance to our movements. So this is what we're here to do, and we may perceive that a little bit with the mind, with the heart, drop in and find that intention. And if you are like me and are focused in the astrological and astronomical world, we just had this really big moon. So maybe you're on your cycle, maybe you are just, in it, in the flow of energies. I'm going to speak a little further as we're in a comfortable seated position. Maybe we can press in our knees a little bit and rise up a little taller with each breath. With each exhale, letting the lower body get heavy. You can use your hands and find a bit more weightedness from the hips down. So this this full moon, it's all about opportunities, right? Full moon is illumination of our fullest idea of potential, the place in which we don't usually speak of or see physically, but it is a place in which we can perceive. So our subconscious, our emotions, this is what the moon influences and has air over. The moon being fully illuminated means we can really begin again to understand in a clearer sense of what we're seeing as a result of the month previous. So full moon, we get to this place of awareness and perception so that we may know ourselves better and maybe others, because we're all in this idea of reality together. We just have individual experience of this thing. And so anyways, this full moon in Aquarius really is all about what is serving, us as individuals and us as humanity at large. What is actually working, and where do we need to find innovation? Where do we need to actually make adjustments and change? It's not about like, oh, I don't want to do it. That's all Taurus energy. Oh, I'm not ready, resistance. This is all about, what have I changed? What is the result? Scientific exploration scientific exploration and experiments, like conducting these things. So the result of our experiments were what? Can we see what our energies and efforts have resulted in? And if that's the case, is it successful, or is there some adjustments to make? Maybe you just went through a major adjustment. Now it's time to dedicate. I think it was today. Today is the beginning of Virgo season, or if not, it's just coming up. We have Virgo energy guiding us through this illuminated and amplified energy of recognition of our patterns and how that serves others, because we really ultimately are here to be with others as individuals. And Aquarius is definitely that reminder of how we are unique, very much unique, and then we come together for what purpose? To serve us as humans, to serve ourselves, to serve from a higher sense of being where we're being led. We have some idea of idealistic energies. We have some notion how to do things, and there's downloads to then bring to other people and try out and say, hey, this is what worked for me, friend. So with Virgo energy carrying that all through, we have devotion time. We have everyday windows to be able to apply ourselves in our practices, in our rituals, in our beliefs. These are what shape our day, shape our reality, and you're still seated in your position here. So you're here for a reason, right? We're here to dedicate to maybe our heart, maybe Mama Earth. Maybe Mama Earth is what we are dedicating to, and we need to be able to move our bodies to do that. Mama is our everything, and so that comes to the table of our food, the conversation of food. Maybe we're devoting to be able to harvest our land, and maybe we're here today to get stronger in our breath so we may sing our praise to this world, which will carry us forward, which will get us to our idea of betterment, improvement, organic ways, natural ways. This brings us to a sense of the body's alignment to such. Our body gets louder and louder as we get further away from alignment, but it also starts to rejoice and celebrate. You'll feel that lightness. You'll feel this idea of improvement, and this all comes through the technology and the design that we become aware of. And this is how we serve our fellow friends. This is how we become a part of the whole, and discovering that is what the body is here for, is what our interplay of mind, body, spirit brings us to understand. So that was a lot of talking, and maybe we're ready for some overall overarching big themes, but this is what's going on, and we're here today to tune in. So with all the things being said, I think my intention is kind of clear: showing up, being able to serve my medicine of movement practice with you guys, which can be a lot of flow, can be a lot of spontaneity, a lot of exploration. You know, it doesn't have to be super rigid, but there is some structure and regimen so that we can find from there how to expand. From the lines, we can dance upon it. So there's some order today, and there's also a lot of like free flow, and finding that reason again to dedicate why we are practicing it all. So remembering that devotion comes in all forms, and yoga practice is one of those forms. Other ones, you know, we can devote to calling your mom every day, or drinking water, enough water, maybe actually getting even further and getting into some tea and cacao. Like, we can devote in so many ways, having a writing practice or singing songs. You know, these are all examples, and asana being a really big example, really awesome example if you ask me. So today we're going to keep it nice and chill, and coming in from our seated position, let's begin with a big breath in. Bring your hands to your chest, tuck your chin and bow towards your heart. Exhale. Big breath in. Keep your eyes closed and exhale once more. We'll chant Om together. Breath in. One more bow, tuck your chin to your chest. Your next inhale, slide your hands up to your face, past your face. Elbows touch, or maybe get close. You can open your eyes. Breathe here. On your next exhale, we'll slide our hands down. Press strong into your palms, elbows left and right, collarbones left and right, and tuck your chin. Deep bow. We'll do a few more of these. Slide up with an inhale. And release, slide down, press away, widen the collarbones left, right, release your hands to your side. Chanting Om is a really powerful practice. As you find a nice flow of breath, make some circles with your upper torso. Find weight in the lower body. So exhale as you come back. Inhale as you come forward. Just nice gentle circulation of the abdomen. Nice and slow. So Oms really clear the pipes. And they are the representation of creation, sustainment, and dissolution, and silence. So Om makes up those four parts, and it's through the body that we can create this sound. And they say everything is sound somehow. Everything is frequency. So creating that frequency helps us tune. And so there's ideas of sound baths and music and voice that activate this. So if you haven't reversed your circle, reverse your circle. Even I, in this moment, get a little shy with my Oms, because you can get nice and loud. Maybe we'll close with Oms as well. And in that opportunity, I'm telling you in advance, you can kind of perceive with your breath sound that you create, there's always a tone of some kind, and that comes into the spectrum of notes. So let's hit all the right notes today. You can stop spinning if you haven't already. If you feel the need to do so, maybe I can invite you to switch other foot in front of the other foot. So however you were seated before, you can switch it up and put the other foot in front of the other foot. Hands on your knees for a second. Big breath in, lift your hands up over your head. Let them float down. Let's take the right hand to the temple, side of the head, and the left hand float all the way down to the mat or the floor. And we'll let gravity create space between your left ear and your left shoulder. And your left fingertips just dancing upon the floor or mat or ground. And if you need a little more stretch here, then lift your fingertips off the ground. And your big inhales, open your chest. And your deep exhales ground you further. Let energy slide off your shoulder, down your back. Beautiful. Slowly release with an inhale. Arms up and switch sides. Left fingers upon your right temple. And your right fingertips all the way down to the floor mat. Let your head slowly grow its weight with your hand. Just adding weight. A little bit of gravity here will do the work for you. So more space between your ear and your shoulder, and dancing your fingertips up off the floor, mat, or ground. I'll pick one. I'm on a mat today. Really find openness in your chest, and exhale, ground. Down, down, down. Inhale to release, arms up overhead. Exhale, float down, twist to one side, both hands touch the ground. One on the knee, one behind you. Inhale to sit up taller. Lengthen the spine through the crown. Exhale, navel draws in. Inhale, release back to center. You can have your arms up and over if you need. Inhale, arms up, and other side for a lovely twist. One hand on your knee, one hand behind you. Inhale to lift your spine, upper body gets light. Exhale, ground your lower body down, down, down. Inhale, arms up and back to center. Yeah, these days I'm not really using that. I'm usually in the grass, in the dirt, maybe even just on a rug or some blankets. I'm borrowing this one. It's not even mine. So whatever you may find yourself using, it's more about the practice than your tools, but the recognition is that your movement practice is the tool. So with a bit of consciousness, lean forward, a little bit of mindfulness, lean forward, away from whatever prop or floor you're upon, and press into your feet. Spread the toes, spread your toes, and maybe find a bit of wiggle, left, right action. One knee comes down, your upper torso moves the opposite direction. And then walking your fingertips, your hands, your palms forward slowly with this bit of wiggle energy. And as you're pressing into your foundation, your upper body has a little more freedom to land and go as far or as not far as you may, with the navel, with your stomach really being honored here. Whatever space you need to occupy, please occupy that space. Your body requires the space it is in. There's the notion of capacity right there for you. You have the capacity to be where you are, and that's where we start. with the idea of every single day kind of entering into our minds, sometimes we have a bit of anticipation for what it's going to take to get to our goals, but knowing that every day, by starting where we are, we really do get somewhere. There is improvement. It's undeniable, irrefutable. You can't not improve if you do something regularly. Slowly float further and further down, and maybe you can get all the way. All right, and slowly, very slowly, see how slow you can move for yourself. Walk yourself, your chest upward, stack your heart over your pelvis. Hands can come to your feet, your ankles, and head over heart, heart over pelvis. The focal points stacked upon each other. So at this point, your hands are touching your feet, hopefully they're bare, and you can give yourself a nice little massage, a little squeezing of the feet. Just take your thumb into your arch, give some presses. Your feet carry you everywhere. And if you're like me, you got lots of places to be, and your feet just are there to carry out the tasks, and we gotta thank them in the ways that we can for getting everywhere you need to be. So a little bit of attention, a little bit of squish love, and come up to the ankle. Make sure you do both feet, right? Not just one foot. So you can switch, other foot, bring your other foot in front of the other foot, and squish your arch with your thumbs. There's a really fun saying, all you need, as long as you got 2 feet and a heartbeat, you're doing just okay. You're doing fine. You got to where you gotta go, right on time. We often can get caught in feeling like we're behind. That's a big thought. That we're behind and, oh my gosh, never gonna make it because we're just so behind. How are we gonna do all the things that we gotta do? And the truth is, that's not true. And what's true is, you got all the time in the world and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So wherever you are, we've already kind of acknowledged that it's a protected place. We are somewhere where people have been to ensure further generations will have life, will have abundance. And hopefully the idea is we're entering into places that we have recognition of sustainable practices that really do secure longevity, happiness, contentment. So this is the idea. You see, with Virgo energy inbound, Aquarius bringing the technology perception. What is the tool that will bring us to a very beautiful and aligned version of living? What are the methods, and is there further we can go to understanding what Mother Nature's design allows? We get everything we need, and that's the reality. All right, so you've squished your feet plenty. Never enough. Come back up into your seated position, and from here, let's go into tabletop. So slowly pick your knees up, bring them into your chest. You can lift the feet off the floor and just find a bit of lift in your upper torso as you come into this balanced position, kind of still in a seated position, but you're lifting the feet up. This is like a practice to get a little bit of, I'm going to call it boat pose. Oh my gosh, rolling off my cushion here. But yeah, just baby steps, right? Lifting the feet up, and we'll come onto our hands and knees. You can move the prop away from your mat. You won't need that. Hands and knees tabletop. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Spread your palms. Spread your fingers and palms evenly. Think about spreading your palms. What does that mean, Maddie? You have 5 bones called metacarpals, and sometimes they're very squished because we're always reaching and gripping. So spread the palms, spread the fingers. Make sure you have a bit of connection to your mat. You can lean, bring your upper torso, upper body forward and back to kind of find that line, the midline of where is neutral. You can do a little left and right. Your knees are under your hips. And let's curl the toes under and get this nice exploration happening. If you want to wiggle a little bit, hips left and right, front and back, just kind of discover where is center. So we'll get into stillness here. So press your palms away from the floor ground mat. And press into your knees a little bit as well, so you can draw energy up from the ground. And enjoying your breath here. In this position, the gravity, sometimes we can feel a little bit of caving energy with our chest and spine. So we want to find strong support for our chest and rib cage. So our front body draws up to meet the back body. Don't let the back body cave you in. Really find support from the front body rising. And so from here, my friends, if you haven't done much practice, it might be a lot for your wrists. So just prepare yourself slowly and come off your wrists as you need, if you need. Otherwise, we're going to do some cat-cows. So the toes curled under, press the palms away from the floor. Breath in, drop the belly, tilt the pelvis, draw the shoulders back, open throat, open eyes, soft gaze. Full extension. And as we exhale, uncurl the toes, press into the knees, shins, palms, draw your navel to your spine, dome the back, tuck your chin. Enjoy that. You can hang up there for a second as you find a nice rhythm with your breath. We'll do the opposite. Inhale to uncurl the toes, drop the belly, open the chest, shoulders open, open throat to soft gaze. Exhale, reverse, untuck the toes, press into your shins, navel draws in, tuck your chin. At your own pace, inhale to open fully, exhale to contract. There's no rush to figuring it out and doing it, getting the move done. The beauty is in the process, not once the pose is done. How open can you be? And how contracted can you get? Three more breath cycles. All right. Back to tabletop. We're going to walk our palms back towards our knees, curl the toes under so we can come to sit upon our heels a bit. So we get a bit of a seat. Take a second off the wrists. Maybe if you want to. Invitation to dig your palms into your thighs. Just let the neck get heavy here. Neck get heavy, head get heavy. Find a little bit of sway as you need as you need. That's an idea. All right. So find some lift from your heels so you can really stretch the backs of the feet, the bottom, the back. Bottom is the back. And from here, we'll walk further our hips back and come into a bit of a yogi squat. Extend your feet, widen your feet a little further, and this process of back and forth on one foot and the other, kind of like they call it a froggy squat, froggy pose, where you're kind of opening up one hip, stretching that out with the foot, activation in the other, press into your foot, lift up onto your toes. You'll feel that in the inner hips. Don't take too much, don't force, because we're going to come back into this. This is just so we can find a standing position. So we're going to just sit into this a little bit. Now press into your palms, walk your feet towards each other so they're just under your hips. Get heavy in your upper torso. Few deep breaths, bend knees, forward fold. Marvelousness. All right, so before we stand, we're going to take a second, find our feet active, press into ground, press away from ground, draw energy up the legs, up your legs. You'll feel your lower body get really strong, really prepared, and your upper body is just kind of waiting. So next is a big inhale. Uncurl the spine slowly. No haste necessary. Arms come out and up overhead. And as they touch, draw them back to your heart. Tuck your chin slightly. Release your hands to your side. Gaze soft in front of you. You may have your eyes closed if you also would enjoy this moment of recognition, this moment of noticing what it feels like. Just sitting for that long and getting into some spinal hygiene, flowing in some sort of idea of rotation and range so you can improve where your place of support is. As you move through your days, you are the one supporting yourself. And often we're rushing off and we are, we as in me, taking steps before the other one is finished. So if we slow down our movements, we can slow down and really not only be more effective in our process, but also have way more enjoyment, way more pleasure from that depth in which we can experience things, that pace with this natural rhythm of our breath and with grace. So as we're in mountain pose here, we can really honor our strength. Press your feet into the earth, wherever you're standing upon, she is there. And press into the earth so much so that you can also feel this drawing up of energy. Kneecaps, lift them, and then open the hip crease. You can put your hands on your hips here. Really feel an openness occur. You can shine your hip creases open and forward. Ground your heels down. We're going to continue this idea of scanning with where we're standing. As we breathe further, upper torso lengthens. Each vertebrae grows in its ability to have space for itself. So vertebra by vertebra, we're lifting. And as that energy lifts us, our upper torso very lifted through the crown. Our exhales are what are grounding us as well at the same time. Down the shoulder blades, down the buttocks, backs of the legs to the heels. So through this Tadasana, Asana pose, through this mountain pose, we can feel how much strength we have to maintain a standing still pose. We often lean and dump our weight into one hip and lean on a surface that is outside of us, but we can be all we need to be supported in being present. We can find that process within us and cycle our own energy so that we don't collapse in certain areas, and find that resolve to carry on until, we're actually completed in whatever it is we're doing, which is sometimes a struggle. Anyways, the opportunity to stand still doesn't come very often. And like I said, I am also someone who has experienced this. We lean, and I've leaned. And so leaning into our practice is what is necessary, but also constructive. Our practice, whatever that is, movement practice, mindfulness practices, being able to stand tall in that, confident, that comes into this place of the body, our chest open, shoulders back. This is the expression of confidence. Comfortable, humble energies come from being in our anatomical neutral. Anywho, I bet you didn't think you were going to stand around all day. It's hard work, ain't it? Yeah, the knees, they get to be in a neutral position when they're actually stacked appropriately, so we're not feeling this imbalance, which is what happens. We have this balance occurring. So let's balance further, shall we? Let's find a little bend in the knees as we go into a forward fold here. So we'll bend the knees, inhale, arms come up overhead. As we exhale, send the hips back, upper torso floats down to the ground. Let the upper body get heavy. We come into forward fold. Knees generously bent. As we inhale, lift the chest. Shoulders draw back. You can slide the hands up your thighs. Slide your hands up your thighs. Exhale to come all the way back down. Beautiful. As you put your palms on the ground, come into a high plank position. So palms on the mat, shoulders come over the palms. Press away from the ground so that you may have connection and strength from your arms. Heels reach back, upper body reaches forward, and this is high plank. Breathe and enjoy your breath here. One more big breath in. Slowly with grace, lower all the way down. Elbows into the sides. Elbows stick to your sides. Yeah, stick to your side. Be on your side. Untuck the toes so your feet are flat on the ground. Spread your toes. Lift or engage your legs. Have energy going down through your legs. Palms upon the earth. Inhale, lift your chest any amount. And radiate out through your chest, elbows drawing down. Press into your pelvis. You can wiggle a little bit, but press into your pelvis. Exhale, lower. So we're doing cobra here. We're going to do a couple of these. Inhale, press into your pelvis, spread your toes, engage your legs. Elbows at your side. You can raise a little taller maybe. Exhale, lower. Forehead all the way down. Follow your inhale, lift your chest up, press your pelvis down, upper body lifts, spread your toes, and slowly lower all the way. All right, curl the toes under, lift your kneecaps, or you can keep your knees in the ground for this. As you inhale, prepare, press into the ground with your palms. Exhale, lift your hips up. High and back. There it is, downward facing dog. Whatever your surface on, find your grip. Claw into your foundation. Get your palms and your feet supporting you. So as you claw into it and press down, you're also drawing energy away. You're growing in every muscle to support yourself off of the earth, from the earth, because that's where we are tethered. So bend the knees, draw energy up the arms, and tailbone lifts. And then from here, inhale, look forward, lift your chest up a bit. Slowly, with precision, non-specific precision, just mindfulness, walk, baby steps, tiny little steps. We're kind of more so massaging the feet and the lines to the hips, through the toes, walking all the way home, hands, or feet towards your hands, and we made it to forward fold. Yay! Deep breath in, let your upper body get heavy with exhale. So find some sway, some natural feel to movement. As you sway in one direction, breathe out in the other. Find what feels good. All right. From here, we're going to rise. Prepare your feet, press into the ground. That's what our home is. Press into this place. We start to grow from here. As we breathe, lifting our upper torso so slowly. How slow can you go? Arms up overhead. As they kiss, they float down to our chest. Take a deep breath in to recognize all the movement, all the expansion and contraction. That simply happens from being present with the breath, with the body's movements. This helps us process a lot. If you can understand what I mean, everything really processes everything. How deep can you go? Takes practice, takes showing up each day to know the familiar places we can go, and then continuing that in that is what will allow us to continue further and further and further. And we're being called in many ways to continue our practices and dive deep so that we can live at a deeper level, to experience more joy, better understand and be more empathetic to those in their positions, wherever they may be. All right, from here, take a deep breath in. We'll step our right foot back, come into a high lunge. So back foot, heels lifted. You can reach it back, but keep your heel off the floor. Drop your knee down to find a bit of neutral energy in the pelvis. You put your hands on your hips or hands to your side. Hands above head if you're ready. As you inhale, drop your lower body further and lift your upper body further. Press into your feet. Find a nice front, or your front knee is bent 90 degrees, pardon me. So you find nice connection from your foundation so you can rise further and further. Now, drop your right knee all the way to the ground. Beautiful. Continue to send your hips back, straighten your front leg, and come into a runner's stretch. Maybe extend so you can get all the way into the hamstring. Breathe to come out of it. Inhale, and exhale to come back in. Point your toes to your face. A few more, inhale up, and exhale, sink back your hips. Marvelous. Inhale back up. Place your palm on the ground. Lift your back knee. Maybe walk your back toes a little bit out. Extend your heel. draw the back muscles of your leg. And from here, inhale, draw your left arm across your body. Stop at your shoulder, twist your upper body. Open to the sky. Full extension, lift your hand, extend your arm to the sky. If you need to, you can drop your leg, your back knee, or you're here. Well, we're all here, aren't we? Slowly bring your extended arm down to the mat. Pivot on your back leg. Walk your hands to the center. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. Find your feeting. Your feeting. Find your footing. Your foots are feeting. So nice active feet is the point I'm trying to get to here. So press consciously in each foot from the earth. We've all come from the earth, and so this practice is very much reminding us that it's our feet first. So from this pressure, from pressing into our foundation, draw energy up the legs. There's obviously this nice bend in our knees. We don't want to lock. We want nice bend knees. Tilt the pelvis a bit so we can let the upper body dive into the earth. Breathe deeply. Let the upper body get heavier. Maybe walk your fingertips forward. Press into the earth as well. With our hands is what I meant that time. Press with all things touching the earth away. Away, away, away. All right, we'll continue to walk our fingers, palms, over to our other leg. It might be the right one, hopefully. We're all together here. The other one, so we're in our extended lunge here. We'll reach our back heel back. Press our left palm into the earth as we inhale. Draw our right arm to our shoulder. Ground, feel, open. Then lift that arm all the way up to the sky, opening the chest up. Beautiful. Big breath here. And as you exhale, slowly lower down your arm back to the ground. We can drop the knee, come into our runner's stretch. So our knee is on the ground. We can sit our hips back. Inhale to open up, come out. Lift our chest. Exhale to go back in. Inhale, lift up, come out of that. Exhale, go back in. The whole thing is the point is we're always in, right? This whole thing is fully engaged. We'll do one more. And you can notice the difference from left and right. Why is it different? All right, come back to a bit of center. Come off your knee, lift up off your knee, and slowly rise. Nice. High lunge, drop your left knee, it should be towards the earth. You can reach the heel back, but we don't want to have the heel down. Just reaching it back will be enough. Knee drops, we can find center in our pelvis. Hands maybe on your hips, to your outer your sides, or up overhead. As you breathe and are rooting down to the ground, our lower body becoming heavier is what gets our upper body lighter. Lighter and lighter. Beautiful. You can drop your back knee, show your left knee, and slowly bring your hands to the mat. Bring your other knee behind you. We'll come onto our butts. We like to be on our butts every now and again. If you need your cushion, feel free to bring your cushion into into the space, back into the space. If you don't need your cushion, all is good either way. Hands on the ground as we are now going to move into just a little bit of lean. You shouldn't need the cushion here, but that's not for me to say. Discover if your hips feel like they're supporting you, or if you feel like your lower back is sinking. Maybe you can lift up a little bit from the earth, have some support to be lifted up from the earth. We've made soft things like cushions to do this. Otherwise, we're working on sitting nice and tall with our knees bent, touching the ground flat, opening up in our chest, letting your shoulders get heavy. Maybe we make a couple small circles, just finding where they are, because often they're way over here. We want to open up the shoulders and let them fall back. Maybe you can move your neck around a little, move your head around, head around your neck. Yeah. We're almost done as well. This is going to conclude our practice pretty quickly. But we're in the wind down phase. So just taking a second to use the earth and what she's got for you. All that strong, all that stable, all that steadfastness. That's earth. There she is. She's slow going. She's easy going. She can take anything you got for her. So press it all into the earth. Pour into her. And from that, you can feel way lighter. Because that's her job. She's here to help us be the highest version of ourselves, grow in our containing of the light, be the love and divinity that we're destined to be. So as we move from here into some wiper energy, pardon me, slowly slide your knees to one side. Keep your chest lifted and open. Nice. Inhale to come to the side. Exhale to wipe. And repeat this a little bit with some nice conscious breathing, slow going energy. We're going to go nice and slow. So exhale. Awesome. A few more of these. One more each side. How about one more here? And one more here. Let's come back to center. Slowly come down from your hands onto your elbows and carry on all the way back on our backs. We'll do a few more of the wipers because it feels good. Now we're gonna let the ground hold our shoulders, so feel them get heavy and melt into the earth. Feel them not efforting whatsoever and pressing from where you are, your lower back as well, fully supported on the mat, on earth itself. You don't need to do anything in those areas, but if you need to assist this process, you can bring your hands to your abdomen because we're going to do some wiper energy left and right. So with your conscious breath, our exhales bring us over to the floor. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale carries us over. And there's no rush. You can move at any pace. Take all the time you need. With this practice, hopefully you found some space to be able to move freer. See what it takes to be able to do so. Find some grace for yourself in your process. knowing that you're exactly where you need to be in order to go forward. And there's a reminder that we can only go forward, backwards, or nowhere. In our yoga practice, we can go fast and far, especially with a bit of help. Alright, so we've done our wipers. I think you can maybe speed up a little. Just wiggle out your lower back. Wiggle it out. Okay. We'll do a bridge pose. So with our feet planted firmly upon Mama Earth here, pressing down. Our palms can be on the mat or they can lift up to our sides like this. With inhale, raise your pelvis up. Hands come underneath your back. Clasp your fingers. Shrug your shoulder blades in together. Breathe deeply. Chest lifts to chin and chin lifts to sky. So you're on more of the tip of your head. As you're here, feel the front body supported by the back body. Ground down from your shoulders and your heels, your palms. Find openness in your chest, in your throat, in your voice, in your breath. Maybe sigh. Slowly lower down. Unclasp your hands. Lower your back and buttocks to the earth. You can let your hands come to your hips as you continue to melt here. On your next inhale, bring your knees towards your chest, hands on your knees. You can rock a little left and right. Rock, roll, rock and roll. Get a little bit of this gratitude energy stirred up for practicing today, knowing that no matter how much you show up, it's gonna pay off in the end. You're gonna see the results of your efforts in so many ways, in your attitude, in your energy levels. Bring your hands to your feet and draw your feet, push your feet away, draw your lower back to the ground, as well as bring your hands and elbows towards the earth. So there's this opposition here. Shoulder blades, glue them to the mat or the ground. Be glued to Mama Earth, never let her go. So as you're in happy baby, find some rock and roll energy as well. Because we rockin', we rollin', we're rocking the free world, we're rolling our moj. Every day we're doing our best, and knowing that we can only do better. I like to say there's only room for improvement. So, and happy baby here, maybe extend, kick one foot out, extend one leg, and the other. Marvelousness. One more squeeze with your knees in and slowly bring your legs fully extended in front of you. You can let your hands rest gently at your sides. Palms facing up, fingers spread nicely. Your feet, you can kind of measure them from your mat and kind of bring them wide a little bit, and toes falling to the outer side, so you have the inside of the foot exposed or facing the sky. And invite you to take the deepest breath you've taken yet. And the deepest exhale. Empty it all. Let it all go to Mama Earth. Inhale again. Feel every cell of your being. In. All of it. You are worthy of all of your breath. Exhale. Let it all go. Mama Earth can take it. She can transmute it. Can cycle our energy this way through the breath and through the body. One more big one, friends. And deep relax. As we discover ways to be present with our day and the energy of what we're doing, we find ways that we desire to dedicate to this thing of reality. And by showing up every day and devoting our energy to what serves us, it cycles back to us. And we have so much in store for us. Our wildest dreams are always going to be shattered by even wilder experiences, because we get the technology of pouring our lives into what methods of practice result in success. We can talk about success and we can define it individually, but they're universal truths that really what success is, in some sense, is, finding the path, the spiritual path, the physical path, the emotional path, the mental path, the one that connects them all. And by doing so, you will feel what it means to be in alignment. You'll be showered in all of the things you're meant to be by being it, by learning to be it, and sharing that medicine by being it. Other people will learn from you and be inspired by you, and that's just one aspect, that's one benefit, to inspire others and to witness what your message can be perceived and received as. So I'll invite you to enter into some breath cycles just to be grateful for this time you've carved out to practice and to land. I thank you. Mama Earth thanks you. And you're always welcome to return at any pace, at any time. Find yourself returning to your center and moving with a level of engagement and discernment, so that you may not leave any of your parts behind and move as one cohesive piece, as a part of the whole. So slowly wiggle your fingers and your toes. We're going to wiggle on out of here, so activate your body with some gentle rotational wiggles, and slowly roll over to one side and press up from the earth, rise again. We're going to close with 3 ohms. If you need your cushion, please feel free. Put your cushion under your booty. Sit up nice and tall. Take a moment to get there. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart. We'll inhale first, together. Exhale fully to cleanse. Inhale once more. Bow your chin to your chest. Bow to yourself, the teacher within. As I bow to you, you are both the teacher and the student in this moment. I see the light in you. Whoever you are, I am grateful you showed up today. Grateful for your presence. And I will leave you with a namaste.